Good morning everybody. Last time we had studied about the Gauss's theorem and applications of Gauss's theorem. So in that the first application was to determine the electric field intensity due to a spherical charged shell, a charged spherical shell. Second application, the electric field intensity due to an infinite long state uniformly charged conductor. In this we are taking, this is the small part of that infinite charged conductor and its length is small n, or we assume plus q charge is uniformly distributed on this line conductor, state conductor. Because it is in the form of line or wire, so it is one dimensional, its cross sectional area is negligible, so its charge density will be linear charge density. So linear charge density lambda will be equal to q upon L. This is the equation first. Now we have to find out the electric field intensity due to this straight line charge conductor by applying the Gauss's theorem. So according to Gauss's theorem, the total electric flux E closed surface integration E dot ds equals to q upon epsilon naught. This total electric flux will be equals to the sum of the electric flux from this curved surface and from these two cross sectional surfaces. It means there are three surfaces here. So this will be equal to total electric flux will be equal to electric flux through this surface, first curved surface, second this cross sectional surface, and third is this cross sectional surface. It means it is equal to closed surface integration of E dot ds from first surface, closed surface integration E dot ds from second surface, closed surface integration of E dot ds from third surface. The sum of these two must be equal to q upon epsilon naught. Suppose this is the equation number 2 or second equation. After this, where E dot ds from first surface, here you will see the electric field. You know this thing, the electric field produced by a line charge conductor is always normal to length of this, or it will be in all the directions. But there will be no role of electric field intensity perpendicular to its cross sectional area. Why? Because its cross sectional area is negligible. There is no charge on that surface. That's why it is always perpendicular to its length only. So at this point E and ds must be in same direction. It means theta will be 0. So this is equal to EDS. Now from two surfaces, electric field will be in this direction, means right to left. So this is the direction of electric field and this is the normal to surface, means direction of area vector ds. Here this angle is of 90 degree and in this case also the angle will be 90 degree. It means closed surface integration E dot ds from second surface equals to closed surface integration of E dot ds from third surface equals to 0. Why? Because in both the cases the electric field and area vector are perpendicular to each other. So the electric flux will be 0 from these two surfaces. Put this value in this equation second. Which equation? Second. So you will see, in place of this we can write here EDS, in place of this 0, in place of this 0, and this is equal to q upon epsilon naught. This is E, we take outside ds, integration of ds will be the area of this curved surface, or that area equals to 2 pi rl. What? 2 pi rl. So we can write here E into 2 pi rl equals to q upon epsilon naught. E equals to q upon 2 pi rl by cross multiplication. We multiply and divide it by 2. We can write 2q upon 4 pi epsilon naught rl, or this can also be written as 2kq upon rl. Q upon L from equation first equals to lambda. So this is equals to 2k lambda upon r. So these are the formula of electric field intensity due to a straight uniformly charged conductor of infinite length. Now in this relation you will see the electric field intensity is inversely proportional to r. R means the radius of the Gaussian surface around the conductor. So if we draw the graph between E and R, we get this graph like this. Okay. So now we have to discuss the third application of Gauss's theorem, electric field intensity due to a charged infinite thin sheet. So in this case we are taking a small part of that thin sheet. Plus Q charge is uniformly distributed on the surface of this sheet, and the surface area of this sheet is S. So which type surface charge density will be here? The surface charge density will be sigma equals to Q upon S. Okay. So at this time you will see if this charge is uniformly distributed on the sheet, will produce the effect electric field in both the direction, both the sides of the sheet. So we are taking a small part of this, suppose it is of ds area, small area ds, and we have to find out the electric field intensity at distance r from this sheet. So this point is at distance r. So we can construct a cylinder as a Gaussian surface. So at this time you will see at this cross section, means at point P, E and ds both will be in same direction. Suppose this is the first surface. Second surface will be curved surface of this cylinder. At this time for the second surface you will see this is the direction of ds, and this will be the direction of electric field. Both are perpendicular to each other. For the third case, in the other side, this will be the electric field intensity that will be perpendicular to the surface of sheet and along the direction of area vector. So at this time ds and E both will be in same direction. So we have to apply the Gauss's theorem because we are finding the application, or we are driving the application of Gauss's theorem. So according to Gauss's theorem we have to apply the Gauss's theorem. The total electric flux closed surface integration E dot ds will be equals to Q upon epsilon naught. This total electric flux will be equal to the sum of the electric flux from this cross section area and plus electric flux from this curved surface area. Third this electric flux through this cross section area. It means E dot ds from first surface area plus closed surface area E dot ds from second plus closed surface integration of E dot ds from third surface. It is equal to Q upon epsilon naught. This is the equation third, where closed surface integration E dot ds from first surface equals to the closed surface integration of E dot ds from third surface. These two. Or this is equal to EDS. Why? Because in both the cases, the angle between E and ds is 0 degree. So it is equal to EDS. For the second case, this closed surface integration E dot ds from second surface equals to 0. Why? Because both are perpendicular to each other. Put this value in equation second. So we can write closed surface integration E dot ds in place of this. In place of this 0, in place of this EDS, closed surface integration EDS. So this is equal to Q upon epsilon naught. This plus this equals to 2 closed surface integration E dot EDS equals to Q upon epsilon naught. E is the constant for this integration, so we take outside. The integration of ds is s. In place of this Q, we can write sigma into s. So s is cancelled by s. We can write E equals to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught. These two things are constant for a sheet. So the electric field due to a charged sheet will be constant. When you draw the graph between electric field and the distance of point of observation from the sheet, you will get a straight line parallel to distance axis. Means the electric field intensity remains constant. Now by using this, we can also find out the electric field intensity due to two parallel infinite thin charge sheets. So we have to drive this relation also. Electric field intensity due to two parallel infinite charged thin sheets. So we are taking two parallel sheets. Suppose this is the sheet P and this is the sheet Q. Both have the same surface area S and plus Q charge plus Q1 charge. Spread on this means uniformly distributed, and Q2 charge on this. Suppose its surface charge density is sigma 1 and surface charge density is sigma 2. Now we have to find out the electric field intensity due to these two parallel infinite thin charge sheets. So there will be 3 points. This will be the first or P1. This is the point of observation between these two. P2, and this will be in right side P3. For this point you will see this is E1 and E2. E1 due to this sheet, no, E1 due to P sheet and E2 due to this sheet. This is E1 and this is E2 for this sheet. And for this point, this is E1 and this is E2. But you will see, if you are taking the electric field in right side positive, then in left side it will be negative. It means the electric field intensity due to this sheet in the left side of this sheet will be negative and in this side positive. Due to this, E1 will be in this side positive or in this side it will be negative. So these are the. Now first of all we have to find out the electric field intensity at P1. Net electric field intensity at P1. Net electric field intensity at P1, E first will be equals to E1 plus E2. But this E1 is negative. This is also negative. Why? Because you are taking in left side of both the sheets. Like this. ऐसे समझ सकते हो. This can be written as what? Minus E1 minus common ले लिया और जे ऐसे implies this E first will be equals to sigma minus sigma upon 2 epsilon naught plus sigma 1 sigma 2 upon epsilon naught. Or this can also be written as minus 1 upon 2 sigma common, 1 upon 2 epsilon naught common, sigma 1 plus sigma 2. If you are taking vector sign, then surface charge density becomes vector quantity. Okay, now at P2, E second will be equal to, देखो, this P2 is in the left side of first plate and in the right side of second plate. So E1 will be positive, E2 will be negative. It means you can write E1 minus E2, and this can be written as sigma 1 upon 2 epsilon naught minus sigma 2 upon 2 epsilon naught. Clear? Now, third point, this P3. At P3, at point P3, E third will be equals to E1, because both are positive and same direction, E1 plus E2. This will be equals to, tell me, sigma 1 upon 2 epsilon naught plus sigma 2 upon 2 epsilon naught, and this can be written as 1 upon 2 epsilon naught sigma 1 plus sigma 2. So these are the applications of the Gauss's theorem. Okay, it's sufficient for today.